If you are looking for products that repair damaged skin, this is the video for you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am partnering with one of my all-time favorite brands, Allies of Skin. Just before we get started, right now for Black Friday, it's buy one, get one free on the website. And if you use So Mary, you'll get an additional 15% off. Okay, let's get going. So they have recently launched the Allies of Skin Academy, which is here to help share knowledge about overall skin health. And today's video is all about healing and repair. So they've asked me to share with you my go-to products, the ones I use every day to help repair my damaged skin. So for me, at the age of 52, there are sort of two key areas as far as repair is concerned. One is long-term and one is short-term. So the long-term damage is the stuff that my skin has highlighted over the years. And one of those is around environmental stressors. And particularly for me, that's in the UV exposure. So I grew up in Florida in the 70s, and there was no such thing as sunscreen. There was no protection at that stage. And I spent a lot of time outdoors, and because I have darker skin, I just developed this nice little tan situation. I had zero idea the damage that I was inflicting on my skin. And that didn't show up for decades. So you know those little age spots you start to get in your 30s and 40s? That's sun damage that was actually inflicted many, many moons ago. So for me, a lot of that long-term hyperpigmentation stemmed from that long-term UV exposure. Next up in long-term damage is aging. We cannot avoid aging, but we do know that a lot of that good stuff that our body produces, our hyaluronic acid, our collagen, our elastin, all that stuff that gives our skin buoyancy, it depletes over time. So that's just what happens. And not only that, we lose a lot of the fat in our face, and that's why things start to sag a bit. So this is just natural aging. And then there are the lifestyle choices that we make. Smoking. And yeah, I actually smoked for a lot of years, and that absolutely has damage on your skin. There are other long-term choices that can have an impact on our skin, like sleep. If we are sleep deprived for long periods of time, it is going to have an impact on the condition and the look of our skin. There is diet, there is exercise, of which the absence of will have an impact. So these to me are the things that have occurred over a long period of time, but they are reversible, and there are things that we can do that can actually help repair our skin. And then there's the short-term stuff. That's the stuff that's kind of more reactive, right? So if we have a flare-up, if there is an acne outburst, it can be a responsiveness to overstimulation, overexfoliation, or a product that doesn't mix with our skin. I have seen incredible things happen to my skin because of a change in diet. And again, talking about lack of sleep and some of those lifestyle choices absolutely impacts our skin very quickly. And even seeing things like the balance of our skin can shift in very short amounts of time. I went from a dry to an oily to a balanced all within the span of 9 months. It's really fascinating how our skin can adjust based on what's happening around us. So there is long-term damage and short-term damage. And today's video is all about long-term, because you know what? It's repairable. So I have a number of products that I rely on day in, day out, week in and week out in order to address these concerns. And I have seen incredible results. Because believe you me, I have developed those signs of long-term damage over the years. And for me, they're in kind of three areas, right? And the first is around discoloration. I do have hyperpigmentation. I have the age spots. I have a particular one here and a particular one here I've been working on for a while. They have definitely improved over time, but they exist, and that's from damage I did a long, long, long time ago. I also have melasma, and I kind of have it in this area here. It flares up tremendously over the summer. Sun exposure just makes the whole thing go bonkers. And I've only realized very recently it's hereditary. My brother has it. It's just a part of our our skin makeup. And it's something that I do like to address and to keep a really close eye on. Then there's the tone and texture situation, which I've seen change a lot over the years. There is nothing more that I hate than dull, crepey skin. So I pay a lot of attention to the actual texture of my skin. I just don't like that dehydrated, sunken, delicate, just thin skin, particularly around my eyes. That's how I feel I'm aging. My skin is aging. I can really, really see it in the texture and the tone of my skin. And last up are those little aging fine lines and wrinkles and the lines that are coming in and the sagging that's coming in. the crow's feet, the marionette lines, the 11s, and for me, the sagging little bit right here has really started to ramp up over the last couple of years. Those don't really bother me as much. I know I'm getting older. I'm going to get wrinkles. It's just the way it goes. But it is something that I'm aware of, and it's something that I use as a comparative when I'm trying products. So when it comes to choosing skincare or looking for products, there are certain ingredients that are going to tackle these specific issues. And that's what I'm reaching for more and more. And again and again. So the heavy hitters. So the first two are kind of in a similar category, right? They are growth factors and peptide. Growth factors are protein cells that tell the cells how to repair itself. So that's going down at a cellular level and telling our skins to renew and to regenerate. And there are peptides, and peptides are also little messengers, but they're very specific peptides insofar as each peptide will do a different thing. These are little amino acid chains that are actually the building blocks of proteins. And they go in and they tell a cell to do a certain thing. So you are going to go in and you are going to build collagen. You are going to go and firm the skin. You are going to reduce the amount of cells that produce hyperpigmentation. You are going to go and create more cells because more healthy cells are going to do a better job. So those are peptides. So peptides and growth factors are all working at a cellular level, and they are there to help build collagen, which is going to plump the skin. It's going to firm the skin. It is telling your skin to act like younger skin and to be more youthful. So next up are antioxidants. You got to have a lot of antioxidants in your routine. These are the protectors. And these are there to help with the oxidative stress that is created in our skin. So that is going to slow down any of the degradation of our skin cells. Now, I also like to pile a bunch of different antioxidants. They pair well together. Antioxidants will do different things. So the more you can get into your routine, the better. They're, of course, the ones you really have heard a lot about. It's the vitamin A, the vitamin E, the vitamin C, niacinamide, resveratrol, even coenzyme Q10. And next up would be the humectants, because with that dull, dehydrated skin, what I am going for is plump, dewy, hydrated skin, and you're going to get that from your humectants. Now, for me, the holy grail is glycerin. You're probably very familiar with hyaluronic acid. There's also urea and there's panthenol. Anything that's going to help lock in hydration is the name of the game for me. Good thing about glycerin, it is in most products out there. You will often see this as ingredient number one, and it's also really cheap, so a lot of the formulators can use it, and for me, it's the holy grail. So I'm always looking for those hydrators that help give that dewiness. And the beauty to a lot of these ingredients is their dual function. They can do more than one thing. So for example, niacinamide, it protects the skin, it brightens the skin, it helps reduce the look of pores. It's one of those ingredients that can really pack a punch. And even lactic acid, it's a really good exfoliant, but it's also a very good hydrator. So there are lots of ingredients that can do multiple functions. And then there are even those products that when combined together, they're even stronger. For example, vitamin C, when paired with vitamin E and ferulic acid, it supercharges the results. Now on to the products that I'm using on a daily basis that is tackling some of these issues that I have with long-term damage. Now, first up is the cleanser. So I don't go for cleansers generally that are foaming or that are clay, because I don't want anything that is actually going to strip or take the oils out of my skin. So this one is by Allies of Skin. It is the Molecular Silk Amino Hydrating Cleanser. I do think this is my favorite cleanser of all time. It has the hydrators. It has glycerin and sodium hyaluronate, which is a form of hyaluronic acid. It has 5 different antioxidants to protect and to soothe and to brighten the skin. So in the morning, I do a simple cleanse in the shower, and I also keep one of these next to the sink for my double cleanse at night. So in the evening, a second cleanse is non-negotiable. It is so crucial that you get all the stuff off of your face at the end of the day. The makeup, the sunscreen, things are which are pretty much designed to stay in place. So my first cleanse is always to remove those things, and the second cleanse then is to actually just clean the skin. Now I prefer to use one of these guys. It's this little cloth I stick my hand in, so I do one side and then I flip it over and then I clean it for the second time, and each time using my Allies of Skin cleanser. So the first time you apply it to dry skin and you just emulsify it and then you remove it. And then the second cleanse with already damp skin, you just give that a little rub around and off it comes. Your skin actually feels really juicy and very hydrated, but you know that it's clean. So next up is the mist. I am a serial mister. You guys know that. I always start with the mist because it helps to keep the skin hydrated, and it also helps the next products absorb better. So this is Allies of Skin's Molecular Savior Probiotics Treatment Mist. And I love this. It has niacinamide in it, which helps to brighten and to protect. It has antioxidants, it has hydrators, and it also has probiotics, which are there to actually feed the skin the healthy stuff that your skin needs in order to be balanced. I use this morning and night, and I also use it in between my steps in order to keep things hydrated up until the end. And I also use this throughout the day to rehydrate my skin. I mist all day long, guys, so my makeup necessarily doesn't last as long that way, but for me, the hydrated skin is way more important. This next one was a very exciting product for me. It was a new launch by Allies of Skin. It is the Multipeptides and GF Advanced Lifting Serum. GF are growth factors. So this contains a complex of growth factors, which is there to, again, stimulate cell renewal. And it has a whole bunch of peptides, and each of them there to do a different thing. It is to lift, it is to plump, and to reduce fine lines and wrinkles. And you guys, I actually did a video about this, showing the results of using this product for 42 days. And the difference between 1 and 42 to my crow's feet was pretty phenomenal. So I use this both morning and at night. It's a nice light texture that sinks into the skin beautifully. It's just gorgeous. So next up is, I think I have talked about this so many times on my channel, is my eye cream. This is the Allies of Skin Peptides and Omegas Firming Eye Cream. This was a real game changer for me, and I think you're probably sick of me talking about it. The area around my eyes is probably the one that I have the most focus on because it's just gotten thin and crepey, and this is probably the one product that has single-handedly changed that over the past, I don't know, maybe 18 months. I just found it delivers a plumpness to the skin that has completely just kind of made it more youthful. So as for the ingredients, it's just a wow list. You know, it has 4 different peptides, again, to do different things, to target dark circles, to target the fine lines and wrinkles, to plump up the skin. It has ceramides, and it has tons of antioxidants to protect the barrier. It has oils in order to hydrate. And it also has bakuchiol, which helps with the resurfacing of the skin. So for me, holy grail, I've gone through about a bazillion of these guys. I use it every morning and every night. So next up is my vitamin C. I use a vitamin C every single day. This is the 20% vitamin C Brighten and Firm Serum. This has 5 different antioxidants to protect the skin, and one of them, ergothioneine, is actually designed to also fight those fine lines and wrinkles. So this is brightening the skin. This is helping the overall texture and tone of your skin, but it's a little bit different, right? So this particular one is not water-based. So it comes out in quite a thicker consistency. Now, I personally love it. My dry skin really loves it. And it kind of just sits on the skin for a minute, then starts to sink in almost like an oil. It's actually beautiful. It could be considered a little heavy for those with the super oily skin. And in fact, Allies has another vitamin C product that I can't get here in Europe. You can only get it in the US. It's a lot lighter of a texture, so you might be more inclined to try that one. But this one, I've used so many bottles of it, and I find it deeply hydrating for the skin, and it just feels good. So I usually put that on and just leave it for a little bit longer, and then I will continue on with my moisturizer. Now, obviously, I only use that in the morning, by the way, vitamin C in the morning. So next up is the Superman of all moisturizers in my arsenal. I have gone through so many of these. It is ridiculous. I have talked about it so many times. It is ridiculous. It is a true love. And this is the Allies of Skin Peptides and Antioxidants Firming Daily Treatment. It is my Superman because it does everything. It hydrates, protects, firms, brightens. It does so much more than you would expect one little product to do. And the ingredient list is just so incredibly impressive. It has 9 different antioxidants, 8 brighteners, 4 peptides. So this is something that's doing all of that reparative work. It's also doing protective work, so you don't have as much damage going down the road. So it's actually a very light texture. It's a gel texture, so suitable for all skin types. And a couple of pumps of this, and it sinks into your skin so beautifully. I love this when I travel. When I travel, these are often the only 2 things I take, you know, with the sunscreen. And that's pretty much all you need. No, that's not true, because you need the cleanser too. But 3 products and a sunscreen, and that's all you need. And I can take those for a week, for 2 weeks, and my skin is so satisfied. And then the last part is sunscreen. I mean, I'm so broken record, guys. You need to wear sunscreen every freaking day. If you have a face, you need to wear a sunscreen every day because the rays are coming through, maybe not the UVBs, but the UVAs are. They can go through clouds, they can go through glass. So if you have a face, you need to wear it every single day. There's no point in spending all of your time and money and resource on trying to repair damage if you're going to inflict more. It's just as simple as that. So for me, I do believe there's a sunscreen for everyone. People go, what's your favorite sunscreen? My favorite sunscreen is any sunscreen I'm going to wear every single day. And there is a sunscreen for everyone. They've gotten very sophisticated. They don't have to leave a white cast. You can find the right textures. You are covered. You just probably have to experiment a little. I'm personally obsessed with Korean sunscreens. They're super affordable and they are lightweight, they disappear, and they leave a glow on my skin. And that's generally what I'm going for. So the one that I'm using pretty obsessively at the moment right now is by Isntree. It is the hyaluronic acid watery sun gel. It just feels like magic on the skin, and it gives a little bit of a glow. It's deeply hydrating, but it also sinks in very quickly because I believe in applying 2 different layers of sunscreen to make sure you're covered. So I go in with a bunch of it, and once that's all sunk in, I go in with another layer. And this I find is very forgiving. It works on every kind of skin type. It is beautiful under makeup. That's the one. Okay, so the nighttime routine is mostly the same, but only a couple of other additions to it and one little subtraction. So in the evenings, I use the same cleanser, I use the mist, I use the peptides and GF serum, and I use the eye cream. Now, I swap out my moisturizers. I do like a thicker moisturizer at night. So I've been using the Augustinus Bader, the Rich Cream, forever. I really like this moisturizer. It's quite heavy, and I feel that it's quite reparative. So for me, I want something a lot thicker at night, and this is the one I go for. Okay, and then my evening routine is rounded up by 2 products that usually about 2 hours later, I come back right before bed, and I put on these 2 products. The first is my tretinoin. This is the gold standard for topical products when it comes to regenerative and reparative products. This is a medicine, guys. You need to have a prescription for it. It is not cosmetic. It is clinically proven to reduce fine lines and wrinkles, to help with hyperpigmentation. This is the one. So it can also be extremely irritating, and that's why I use this much later in my routine. I don't do it first up anymore, which I did for years, but now I do it later after my skin has had a couple of hours to absorb the other stuff. And then there's a new one that I've added in conjunction with my Tret. So I put my Tret on, and then straight away I use this new product that, well, it's probably not new to a lot of people, but it was new to me. This is the Allies of Skin CE15 Bakuchiol Firming Oil, and I am so obsessed with this. Now, I am an oil fanatic. Anything that's going to really help to hydrate, I am here for it. And because the Tret can be irritating, pairing it with this helps to soften it. So if you're feeling a little bit dry, this just completely gets rid of that. They describe it as intensive skin recovery, deep firming power. Oh yes. It has 11 different oils to soothe the skin, and it's just perfection. It has 13 different antioxidants. This is just the powerhouse, and dry, irritated skin, be gone. And I've recently learned that by pairing Bakuchiol with a retinoid, it actually helps the vitamin A be more effective. So not only is it starting to soothe, it's also there to boost the effectiveness of vitamin A, which is brilliant. This is just a match made in heaven in my book. Now, that is everything that I put on my skin for the reparative side of things and some of those ingredients and whatnot. But I do believe that there's also a power in devices and support for long-term damage. You've heard me talk a lot on this channel about LED light therapy. I'm a huge proponent of it. I use it most days, generally 6 days a week. And I find that that has made huge differences in pigmentation and in overall condition of my skin. And there's also medical microneedling. I do that at home every 6 weeks as well, because that's really something that's great at helping to boost collagen production and help with the overall condition of my skin. So there is the topical stuff. There are a couple of the beauty devices. And as a result, I think my 52-year-old skin's looking pretty good, I have to say. So guys, that is a roundup of the products that I'm using to deal with my long-term damage, of which there has been loads. So clearly I'm a massive fan of Allies of Skin and their contribution to the overall condition and repair of my skin. So thank you so much for sponsoring today's video. And guys, they've got the big sale on right now. The Black Friday buy one get one free sale is on now. You do not even need a code for that. And if you use my code, SOMary, you will get an additional 15% on top of that. So anything you purchase is buy one, get one free on the site, and then you get a little extra sweetener with the SOMary 15% off. Happy shopping. So obviously this video was too big to look at both the long-term and the short-term repair products. So if you have an interest in seeing what sort of products I use for those little flare-ups and those occasional things, then let me know and I'll be happy to do another video on those products as well. So guys, if you like the look of this video, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. Please do. So few of you do. And also give this video a thumbs up and maybe even share with a friend. So thank you so much for joining today, and I look forward to seeing you at the next video. Bye. Gary, please can you take that back?
Nope.